Hey guys, it's Adam from the Dimensional Game Squad here, bringing you with a Doctor Who Top 10. Now, as you can probably tell by the title, this is my top 10 favourite episodes that David Tennant was the Doctor in. Now, you're probably thinking, why not Chris Ferguson? He was first in the new Who series, and I know, but there's one slight problem. He only did the one season. And if you count two-parters as its own story, there's only 10. And I already did my ranking on these because all the two-parters were right next to each other. So just imagine two-parters as one, and there we are. There's your answers. Well, with the exception of World War III and Aliens to London, but put the long game in last place and put them next, and there's your ranking. Done. Hold on, I need to actually check that now. Oh, I made an oopsie. Okay, so let's just go long game, Unquiet Dead, Aliens to London, duo. And if we go then Boomtown, followed by Where End of the World Rose. 7th is Rose, 6th is Father's Day, 5th is Dalek. Right, so yeah, just have the first two-parter after Long Game and The Unquiet Dead, and there you are. There's the ranking for Chris Ferguson's episodes. I might actually need to do a video on that next week. Yeah, I'll do a video on that next week, okay? Because I don't think anyone, even myself, actually understood what I was saying there. So these are my top 10 favourite episodes that David Tennant was the Doctor in. Because I finished reviewing all the episodes that the main series episodes that he was the Doctor in. So that is series 2, 3 and 4. So with that being said, let's go right into this list. Allons-y. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just said his catchphrase, so Allons-y. Okay, so in 10th place is Gridlock. Series 3, Episode 3. The revisit back to New York, and probably a better episode of New York. Brings back the face of Bo, and for the last time, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he did die, but he did foreshadow the end of the series, saying "You are not alone," which I liked, and compared to episodes that came before it in the ranking when it came to the review of Series 3, Gridlock got a relatively high place, and I really did like it. The only, well, apart from Novice Haim, the only cat character was Brannigan, and like I said in the review, I liked Brannigan. Before I go further on, I do need to say, two-parters count as one story, and I'm putting them together. Because that way, well, yeah, I do need to say, that way finales may be further behind than, let's say, the second place episode or the third place episode. But, with that being said, Gridlock already been said why it's 10th place, which is still a good place. I also have 39 episodes, and that means that was 30 stories, I believe. 30 stories, 39 episodes, so that's relatively good. If you ignore the Christmas specials or the David Tennant specials after that, 30 stories, relatively good, really well. Number 9 or 9th place is The Girl in the Fireplace. Compared to now with number 9, number 8 and number 7, I kind of had a little argument with myself why this one should come 9th this one should. Because they're all around the same. These 3 episodes got exactly the same place as all the others in the ranking. These ones got the same place as they did in the ranking when I did each review. So you know that one's for Series 2, one's for Series 3, and one's for Series 4. I couldn't decide between any of them because I liked them all. They all had the same score. They came the same place in the ranking. Going in the fireplace is 9th place though, because I think the main reason for it is that I'm gonna regret saying this because some people are gonna hate me. It just didn't have it didn't have that sense of humour as the other 2 episodes had. Like, because 9th place had a lack of sense of humour, 8th place had too much sense of humour in my opinion. 7th place was just about there, but I'm not saying it's better than any other, it's just my personal choice. 8th place is Partners in Crime. So this one kind of had overdone on the humour there, hence why it's, well, 8th place. Partners in Crime, yeah, I liked to pull back Donna, but it was kind of down to earth, but it had quite a lot of sense of humour, especially with the scene when Doctor and Donna finally met each other. It was actually a really funny scene, and there were so many other scenes where they kept popping their heads out of the cubicles trying to find a printer, and as soon as the other one was about to, they ducked their head down. So that was actually really funny. I liked that a lot. And moving on, please. 7th place is, as you probably could have guessed, Smith and Jones. Now, I swear to God, I'm not being biased with the fact that Martha Jones won this little three-way competition here. But I liked that it was kind of a simplistic episode, but had such a unique concept and stands out as all the other episodes, being, well, a hospital on the moon. So, the Judoon is an interesting enemy, and yeah, it may not be a proper villain, but they were so popular, they came back in future episodes, such as The Stolen Earth, and more recently, because I watched the episode like an hour or so ago, The Big Bang in Series 5. That's pretty much it though for Smith and Jones. Like, I think the humour was just around there, because you're probably wondering what humour, and I think it just has to do with the fact that my sense of humour may be different to yours, so I may have found it funny, you probably were like, okay, yeah. 6th place is another Series 3 episode, being The Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords. Now, whilst I was actually trying to make this list to how I think it should be, I was just doing this the whole time. But this one, out of all the finales, probably is the worst. Yeah, I like that the Master was actually the main villain here. And it had a new villain called the Tocraphane. But I think the fact that the episode that is not the finale as this 2-parter was better than the actual finale. That's why I gave it as the worst finale, because, well, Sound of Drums is better than Last of the Time Lords, in my opinion. But that probably has to do with the fact that I liked the main part of the episode where the Doctor, Martha, and Captain Jack were on the run. But yeah, I don't really know. But I really did like this episode. I liked all of these episodes here. 5th place is Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Now, this one, it is slightly better than Series 3 finale, but not by a lot. I liked that I introduced the Cult of Skaro. Kind of good debut for them, but it's just not amazing. Like, I like that it was Cybermen versus Daleks, which is something that you don't really see every day. And the only other time you see Daleks and Cybermen in the same episode, if you count that one scene in Dalek where a Mondaeus Cyberman head was there, or you can go along with, I believe it's also the Big Bang. But I think why this is probably the best episode for the Daleks and the Cybermen were the fact that they actually got into combat against each other, and that was one of my favourite bits about that episode. Call me bloodthirsty for all I care. But I really did like this episode. I like the setup to revealing who the villain was. For most of it, we did not know who the villain would be. Because, the Cybermen quickly showed themselves. But for someone that, like me, that skipped Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel, that is something like, who are they? And then the added surprise at the end of Army of Ghosts, where the aliens that are in the ship are the Daleks, or they're called Skaro. That was like, oh, what's going to happen now? They're two villains in one place, and they're both the Doctor's arch enemies. Well, one's the main arch enemy, one's the side enemy. Sorry, Simon. Should have made more appearances. That's pretty much it. Doomsday, that had combat between Simon and the Daleks, like I said. And also, it was the battle with Canary Wharf. There's not really much else. The ending was really upsetting, but so was the ending of the other two parts that's here. I think it was... But this one, for Doomsday mainly, I need to say that the background song or music playing was amazing, and that was probably my favourite background music for any episode. Fourth place is School Reunion. Now, this one, what can I say about School Reunion? I love the episode. Krillitanes, yeah, I get they may not be the most popular villain, but I like them. It's kind of a shame they're a one-off villain and we'll never see them again. But there's so much more you can do to improve on them, unlike another villain that'll be on this list, and you know which one it will be. If you paid attention to my rankings, you know which villain is coming up next, which I don't want to see any more of, because it's perfect the way it is. But the key aspect about School Reunion, what I liked the most about it, is definitely the fact that they brought back Sarah Jane Smith and K9. I absolutely love these characters. I love them in the spin-off called Sarah Jane Adventures. I only watched a few episodes though, so yeah. And well, that's all I can say. I really liked them, and I liked the kind of slight battle Rose and Sarah Jane had about the older companion versus the newer companion. Because I remember I remember in the review when I was talking about Sarah Jane coming back, I saw my dad's face light up because he recognised that character. I didn't, obviously, but because I was too young. But something about this episode as well that I didn't mention in the review, when I was talking to my dad about which one's better about Sarah Jane and Rose, he said Sarah Jane. And I was like, why? Rose is clearly better because Rose knew the Doctor longer. And then my dad said, were you even paying attention, or do I need to say it to you in English? So basically he was saying I don't understand English, which I don't blame him, because I was like, I don't know, 7? I don't know. But he was just saying that Sarah Jane was a companion before Rose. And I was like, that's impossible. Rose was the first companion in Doctor Who, because I watched the first episode of Doctor Who. And he said, that's a new series of Doctor Who. This is the old series. I probably regretted saying this after I said it, but then I was like, oh, so back in the Dark Ages. Sorry, I had to quote Rose there. And I don't blame my dad for his reaction. I'm not going to say what he did because, well, I need to move on. Third place is Blink. Now, the Weeping Angels. Considering I already viewed most of Series 5, I'm just going to say right now, I don't think the Weeping Angels had to be in that series. I don't think the Weeping Angels had to come back. Yeah, I get they were popular, but I don't see why they came back. Like, maybe I see why in a future episode that I'll be reviewing, but not Flesh and Stone and Time of the Angels. These two episodes, I don't think needed the angels in. Because I think it could have been something different, just have a different name for it. It could have had a different villain. Something like, this is a bit biased here, but the Krillitanes. They could have had the Krillitanes in that episode, just name the title a bit differently. Weeping Angels, I don't think actually needed to be there. Blink, it just had the Doctor, not really, it just had the Doctor on the sidelines here, just saying, don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. They're fast, faster than you can believe. Don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Good luck. But that is pretty much it. Blink. I really did like it. It's really well put together. I have to say that. But moving on. But it is very well outshadowed. Put in the shadow compared to the other second place episode here, and the proper second place of this ranking. Probably some people's favourite episode, Midnight. Midnight. This one had the potential to either go really badly or really good. This is like probably one of the most riskiest episodes that could be made in this series, and it could have gone either way, really bad or really good. It went really well. It went pretty much perfect. Now, Midnight. I chose to put Midnight over Blink, even though they had the same score and the same placement in the ranking. Midnight is over Blink because I like the unknowingness of this enemy, the Midnight entity. And I don't want this villain to come back. Because it was great the way it is. And if you bring it back, you have to give more information about it. And because I like kind of the unknown. I don't want it to come back. I don't want to learn more about this monster. So keep it far away from us. Keep it far away. There are other villains as well which I don't want to come back because, well, how are you going to even go and improve on this? Like the Family of Blood, how can you improve on them? The Flood from Wars on Mars, how can you improve on them? Krillitanes I just want to come back, but you can improve on them. There are other villains which are great, but I don't want them to be brought back because, well, they're great the way they are, and if they get any more detail done on them, it's just going to be over detailed and terrible. Midnight Entity is perfect the way it is, and this episode as a whole was put together brilliantly. Donna was barely in it, and probably had the most noticeable Rose scene, I guess, where it's on a monitor behind the Doctor after the vehicle crashed or broke down. And then, of course, it has to be the bystanders, I'll say they are. The bystanders' reaction to this entity and the Doctor's daily life. And the fact of his fascination with this new being that he's never seen or heard of before. And he said it himself. It's best not to learn more about this being because it's scary enough as it is. So, moving on to number 1. You probably know what it is since I said there's another two-parter here. It is The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. Journey's End, Stolen Earth. Both amazing episodes, is what I can say. Stolen Earth kind of puts together the Daleks' master plan, collects, and it's kind of like the conclusion of Series 4 with all of the little arcs they had. Rose is coming back. Brought back Rose. The planets that are being stolen. Adipose 3, The Lost Moon of Poosh, Pyrovidia, and some reason Clom. And also, obviously, Earth. And of course, the bees disappearing. They sense that distress, so they flew back home. Bees are radiant. Don't be so daft. Not all of them. And the darkness is coming. The darkness being the Daleks, along with Davros, Dalek Khan, and the Supreme Dalek. Brilliant opening. And there's only one side problem I have with it. And that has to do with... I don't think it had to have Harriet Jones die in that episode. I am gonna say Harriet Jones's departure was a kind of good redemption from her actions in the Christmas invasion. That's all I'm gonna say. But I didn't want her to die. Yeah, I hate her as a character, but I would have wanted her to die in a Journey's End, maybe. I mean, the only good thing she did was bring all the companions of the Doctor together to form a secret army in the Subwave network. Apart from Rose, because everyone forgets about Rose apparently. Why is it always Rose? So, that's the stolen Earth for you. Journey's End, wrap up to the Daleks, having most of them destroyed. Davros somehow survived, I guess, and Dalek Khan died. And then it's all the companions' departure. Mickey, Mickey, Martha, and Captain Jack, along with Sarah Jane, left the TARDIS, went on Earth. Mickey and Martha got married, apparently. Captain Jack went back to Torchwood. Sarah Jane went back to her son. Then back on Dalek Wundstranden, or Bad Wolf Bay, Jackie Tyler and Rose Tyler get dropped off, along with the one, the only, the Meta-Crisis Doctor. Then after they left, after the Doctor and Donna left, Doctor had to wipe Donna's memory and then drop her off at her mum's and granddad's house. And like I said in the review, the look on Wolf's face after seeing his granddaughter in that state, really heartbreaking and probably the most upsetting departure for any companion. But the Doctor had to regenerate. The Doctor knew he was going to die soon, so I think it's best we got rid of his companion. Well, kind of departed from his companions later. And that's what he did earlier before he had to regenerate in front of them. So I think that was very well put together. And as the Ood very well said in The End of Time, this song is ending, but the story continues. So that is the end for this ranking. And I may have said a quote from an episode that wasn't on here because I didn't review it for the channel yet. The story continues. This is the end of David Tennant, but as the Ood would probably say, the song for Matt Smith is just beginning. That's all for this time. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.